Throughout history, there have been individuals chosen to fulfill divine purposes in critical moments. One such story is that of Queen Esther, a woman of great courage and faith, whose journey from an orphan Jewish girl to the Queen of Persia showcases God's providence and timing. Her bravery and wisdom, along with the guidance of her cousin Mordecai, played a crucial role in saving her people from destruction. This timeless story continues to inspire generations to trust in God's plan and stand boldly for what is right. In the Grand Kingdom of Persia, during the reign of King Xerxes Ahasuerus, lived a humble yet extraordinary young Jewish woman named Esther. She was raised by her cousin and guardian, Mordecai, after the tragic loss of her parents. Though she came from a modest background, God had a greater purpose for her life: Esther's rise to royalty. When Queen Vashti was banished for defying the king, a search began for a new queen. Beautiful young women from across the empire were gathered, and among them was Esther. Mordecai advised her not to reveal her Jewish heritage. Through God's divine favor, King Xerxes was captivated by Esther's beauty and character, choosing her as his queen. Even in the palace, Esther remained obedient to Mordecai's guidance, demonstrating humility and wisdom. Mordecai's loyalty and Haman's wicked plot. Meanwhile, Mordecai uncovered a plot to assassinate the king and reported it, saving the king's life. However, trouble arose when Haman, a high-ranking official, grew enraged that Mordecai refused to bow before him. In his wrath, Haman devised a sinister plan to annihilate all the Jews in the Persian Empire. With the king's approval, a decree was issued for their destruction. Haman manipulated the king by offering a large sum of silver to finance the execution of the Jews, further emphasizing his cruelty and deceit. Esther's courageous stand. When Mordecai learned of this decree, he tore his clothes and wept bitterly. He urged Esther to intervene, saying, "Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Though approaching the king without an invitation could mean death, Esther displayed great faith and courage. She requested the Jews to fast and pray for 3 days before she risked her life to plead for her people. Esther's willingness to sacrifice her own safety for the sake of her people demonstrated her selflessness and unwavering trust in God. With wisdom, Esther invited the king and Haman to a banquet. At the second feast, she revealed her Jewish identity and exposed Haman's wicked scheme. The king, enraged, ordered Haman's execution on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Furthermore, the king granted Mordecai the authority to issue a new decree, allowing the Jews to defend themselves. On the appointed day, the Jews overcame their enemies, and the evil plot was overturned. Not only was Mordecai honored and promoted to a high-ranking position in the kingdom, but the Jews were also able to celebrate their deliverance with joy and feasting. Lessons from Esther's story. God's providence and timing. Esther's story reminds us that God places us in specific situations for a purpose. Even when his plan is unclear, he is always working behind the scenes. Esther's rise to royalty was not a coincidence, but a part of God's divine plan. Courage and faith in the face of adversity. Esther teaches us that standing for what is right, even at great personal risk, can lead to victory and deliverance. She risked her life to save her people, proving that true leadership requires courage and sacrifice. The power of prayer and fasting. Before taking action, Esther sought God through fasting and prayer, demonstrating the importance of spiritual dependence in challenging times. Prayer and fasting can lead to divine intervention and clarity in decision-making. Divine justice prevails. Haman's downfall reminds us that God sees the injustices of the world and ensures that the wicked do not prosper indefinitely. Though evil may seem powerful, God's justice always prevails in the end. Queen Esther's bravery and Mordecai's wisdom played a crucial role in saving an entire nation. Today, the Jewish festival of Purim commemorates this miraculous deliverance, reminding us of the power of faith, courage, and divine intervention. May we, like Esther, trust in God's plan and boldly stand for righteousness, knowing that he has placed us where we are for such a time as this.